Thank you for clicking Dr. Samurai Minute Lecture. In this video, I would like to discuss what exactly Elon Musk's personality type is. I would like to first speculate Elon Musk's exact personality type, and then I would like to interpret some of his major characteristics in the light of that speculation, and then I would like to expect what his future moves would be. My name is Dr. Samurai. I'm a professor specialized in international social pathology. Elon Musk's personality type. What exactly is it? My speculation as a social pathologist is he is a person with a very high psychopathy. And now I would like to look into his background based on the information on Wikipedia. Mr. Elon Musk, currently at the age of 50, is originally from Pretoria in South Africa. He is a co-founder of Tesla Incorporated, an electric car manufacturer, and now expanding into many other fields. He is considered worth $252 billion. His mother was a model and dietitian who was born in Canada, and his father is a white South African electromechanical engineer, pilot, sailor, consultant, property developer, and one time owned half of a Zambian emerald mine. He has one younger brother and one younger sister. His adenoids were removed when he was a child because doctors suspected he was deaf, but later his mother decided he was thinking in another world. Musk's family was very wealthy, so that they had so much money at times they couldn't even close their safe. His parents divorced when he was 9 years old, and Elon chose to live with his father, which 2 years later he regretted, because his father was a terrible human being. Almost every evil thing you could possibly think of, he has done. Around age 10, he developed an interest in computing and video games, and he learned computer programming by using a manual at the age of 12, and he created his own game and sold it about $500. He was an awkward and introverted child and was bullied throughout his childhood. He was one time hospitalized after a group of boys threw him down a flight of stairs. After so many other things happened, he later moved to Canada, thinking that it would be easier for him to enter the United States. This is his brief background. And as I have said, I would like to interpret these pieces of information in the light that Elon Musk's personality type is psychopath. In short, psychopath is defined by emotional handicap and very high narcissism, developed under adverse, injurious parenting, besides genetics, neurological alteration, and maternal prenatal risks. As I have mentioned, his adenoids were removed when he was a child. Although it may not have that deep effects, adenoids is located so close to where amygdala is, which is in charge of human emotions. So it is possible that removal of his adenoids may have had a little impact on his development of emotions after they were removed. Also, the depictions that doctors thought he was deaf and mothers thought he was in another world. These two means he was not responding so sensitively to external stimuli. it's highly likely that he was daydreaming because of some kind of constant external pressures and stress in his family environment, as Hillside Strangler Kenneth Bianchi used to daydream when he was a child under highly intruding and overbearing mother. Elon must have blocked something from entering his own mind, and that's why he looked to be deaf and also be into daydreaming. And the fact that he is describing his father as a terrible human being and almost every evil thing you could possibly think of. This means from early on, including his critical period, which is 0 to 3 years of his life, he could have been under high stresses by his father's aggressive temper. And that could be why he was into daydreaming when he was a kid. And even after 9 years of age, he still chose to be with his father, who was so terrible and aggressive. And because of his possible father's abuse, he developed phobia against other people, which highly likely made him an ideal target for bullies, as he was bullied all through his childhood, and even one time was pushed over down to the ground from a flight of stairs. And the reason why he was so good at computer programming was to avoid his father's abusive parenting, and he immersed himself into something other than outside reality, which was computer programming, which leads to his current success in his business. Also, considering abuse and neglect very often happen simultaneously, it is not difficult that his father was distant from him, except when he occasionally did his abusive parenting. So that neglect itself also makes enough time and space for him to absorb into something he is interested in. So what I'm suggesting here is, because of the abusive and neglectful environment and also school environment by bullies, he tried to find another world other than his real world in which he can indulge himself as he pleased, which was the video games and computer programming. And now, as part of Elon Musk's personality type, now I would like to interpret some of the characteristics of psychopath. The very base of psychopath is, as I have said, emotional handicap and very high narcissism, which lead to being highly impulsive and also this interest to interpersonal relations. Now, I would like to mention some of the characteristics of psychopath. 1. Superficial charm. 2. Need for stimulation and attention. 3. Grandiose sense of self-worth. Poor behavioral control. Promiscuous behavior. Impulsivity. Criminal versatility. And sadness and loneliness. What do you think about these 8 characteristics of psychopath in the light of Elon's personality? Superficial charm? Yes, he seems to be always smiling for some reason. Need for stimulation and attention? Yes, because he loves to be at the center of attention, such as in online news. Grandiose sense of self-worth. He is a co-founder of Tesla and now buying up multiple other companies whose names are so well known. Poor behavioral control? Maybe yes, because he pokes his head into so many other things which do not seem to have anything to do with him. Promiscuous? Maybe yes. he is rumored with multiple famous celebrities. Also, although this is not sexual, he seems to be interested in so many other types of business than his original car business. And sadness and loneliness, this, which we cannot normally see from outside. But psychopaths are considered aggressive because they know they do not understand other people's feelings, and which means they will never be able to connect with others deeply. This sadness is said to lead them to aggressive acts. So, superficial charm, need for stimulation and attention, grandiose sense of self-worth, poor behavioral control, promiscuous, all these somehow seem to apply to Mr. Elon Musk's personality type. And knowing his father's adverse and injurious parenting, in addition to constant bullying at school, if by being placed under these stresses constantly, his stress hormone, cortisol, was considered to be always high, which is highly likely to block the development of his amygdala. And I also mentioned his adenoids were removed, which is closely located to amygdala, in charge of human emotions. All these backgrounds of his seem to make sense in developing his highly possible emotional handicap, which necessarily led him to emotional isolation, in which he could not help becoming highly narcissistic, lacking exchanges with other people while he grew up in his childhood. So again, I speculate it is highly possible, both in terms of his childhood backgrounds and family dynamics, and also all those personality traits that he seems to be showing are pointing to him at least having a very high psychopathy. And now, lastly, I would like to discuss his future moves. Usually, psychopathic characteristics are connected to not so likable persons. Good example is Vladimir Putin. But it is also confirmed psychopath is like chameleon, changes according to the environment he or she is placed. Now, Mr. Elon Musk is placed in the field of business. So his aggressiveness seems to be working very positively in terms of his career promotion. Although it is highly likely that his way of handling business can be very aggressive, not caring about other people's feelings, and so forth. So it's highly likely that he keeps extending his business empire into other fields. And it could even be possible that he could get into a political arena or on TV screens, as Mr. Trump did from his business background. I cannot exactly tell what Mr. Elon Musk will do, but his superficial charm, need for stimulation and attention, grandiose sense of self-worth, impulsive and promiscuous tendencies, all seem to lead him in the direction of creating a lot of sensations, even more than he is doing today. This is my speculation about Elon Musk's personality type. I would love to hear what you have to say about my speculation. And if you like this kind of discussions, please click that red Dr. Samuel logo. Wherever you are, my friend, on this beautiful planet Earth during this very short period of time we share today. Thank you very much, and bye-bye now.